Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome, fellow vault dwellers. It's time for the Turtlecast. All you need to know what's going on in Fallout and answering your questions. Maybe we'll take even one more look on the patch notes. Just a quick look on the important changes, not entire patch notes. I covered that in the video as soon as the patch dropped. So, welcome everyone. I can see in the chat Michael Yos, PDM57, Spiteful Angel, Naughty Frog, Defiant Jack, Cricket Bell, RHPS, Andrea Minotti, Edward, Aluful, Callum Marjoram, Matthew, Divers. Welcome. Happy to see you all in here. Hello there, Kimoshabi. And more people joining. So welcome everyone else who will be joining us. I hope your weekend is starting strong and you are ready for adventures in Appalachia over the weekend. What is going on in Appalachia over the weekend? To maybe... let me find the calendar. There's a couple important things, so maybe let's start from that you don't want to miss over the weekend and soon. Come on, calendar, where are you hiding? No, you are somewhere on this page. There, I found it. Found the calendar. There you go. So that's the calendar. We are currently on April page. So as today is 25th, so yesterday legendary sale started. Let me zoom in. So yesterday legendary sale started, which means Merma at Rusty Peak will offer you legendary items with a discount, so you can buy more with your script and scrap it when holding all your fingers crossed as hard as you can to learn some legendary crafting recipes. So that's main purpose of legendary sale, which is still huge. Up to this point, I still have effects that I need to unlock. So that's a long time grind. So that's part of it. Appalachian Outlaws is ongoing. It's the mini season. You probably already checked that out. The next very important one, from Tuesday, we have the Big Bloom event with new recipes, new flowers, new mini boss to fight at the end of the event. A cool event. We're playing that on previous iteration on public test server. It is a cool event. It will be triggering in standard fashion on the hour every hour when it will be ongoing. And we have 2 weeks to get all the plans from this event, as after that time it will just disappear again. Therefore, yeah, that's the time, that's the incoming events, that's the calendar for you. So that's first, so you don't miss on any important parts. I wanted to show that first for the people that will not really stay for longer. All right. Hello there, everyone else joining us. I hope the stream is working. No, it's working. Should be working. It's showing that it is working. Oh, Rascal, you already scrapped 10k worth of script yesterday. Got like 40 modules back and no plans. Yeah, that's the tough grind. When you already have a lot of plans, this 10k is sometimes not enough to even learn one of the missing plans. That's the experience we all have at some point. So it's endless grind to unlock those plans. Almost endless grind. Are they really nerfing conductors? Everyone keep asking about it. We'll know soon. Okay, to tell you more about this topic, we'll know soon. And that's... Okay, let's go to news announcements, as well as answering your questions. So there are already questions, so let's go to the Discord. So first, to know if there is any conductors nerf, public test server will receive another update in 2 hours. So a little bit over 2 hours, and Rich will publish a patch note. So then we'll know if it's true that conductors is receiving a nerf or not? I honestly hope no, but I don't know. I know there was discussion about conductor on the public test forums. So as you can see on the left, that's followed 76 public test server. That's on official Bethesda Game Studios Discord. And that's where you go to discuss changes. If you are participating by playing public test server or just watching me testing stuff in there, nothing is stopping you if you have Discord from going there and having a discussion. You don't even need to have, like, having a public test server installed is not a requirement to join the public test server. You just need to tick a box that you want to join this server and you are interested in that. I think you need to, it's somewhere, I forgot exactly where it's in where is this setting, but it's somewhere on the Bethesda Game Studio official Discord. There's somewhere a tab that you choose your platform, that you can choose your role, that you can choose which channels you are interested and you want to show up for you. Because straight up when you join Bethesda Game Studios, the PTS channel will not show up for you. You need to express your interest, let's say. I think that's how you say it, to join the public test server channels, and then you can chat in there. Give your feedback, chat, report bugs, and more. So that's how you get access in there. Now, to answer your questions from the Discord, Turtle Army Discord. So that's our Discord for this YouTube channel, our community, and we are going to ask the Turtle section. That's where you ask questions, and I answer them on every Turtlecast. The Turtle Army Discord is open for everyone that's interested to join. There are, of course, rules that you need to follow, but that's every Discord has. Overall Discord rules you cannot break on any channel. That's standard stuff. Nothing particularly special. And now, first question. Hi, Turtle. Enjoy your followed 76 YouTube channel. Like, subscribe. Thank you. Heard mention in a video about Vulcan Power Armor 25% fusion core duration bonus affecting VATS cost. Do you happen to know, does adding the legendary mod Cooling Vent push this further, or is it considered a completely different buff status? So I do, if I'm not mistaken, no, I'm pretty sure I do have dedicated video covering this topic and Vulcan Power Armor, but to answer your question straight to the point, yes, it does add up. It's all additive. Therefore, the perk that gives you 50% fusion core duration adds up to fusion core duration bonus, adds up to cooling vent bonus. I think it's 5% per cooling vent, so you will total 85%. And if you add a bubblehead repair, you will end up with 110%. And yes, it is possible to reverse VAT's fusion core drain to fusion core charge. So when you hit above 100%, your VATs will be charging your fusion core, which is kind of ridiculous, but fun. I hope Bethesda will never find out. So that's a cool thing. You can go above 100% in this case scenario. Not everywhere in Fallout, not everywhere you can go above 100%. Some things are capped at 90%, and they will not go higher because there is mandatory cap. This is not capped. So it will go above 100, it will start charging your fusion core when you are using VATs. Angry Panda, hello 80. I can't decide, maybe you can help. Between the 3 VATs accuracy cards in Perception, they are Concentrated Fire, Eye of the Hunter, and Awareness. Which of these is best and why? How would you use them for VATs? So absolutely the best is Concentrated Fire, as that works regardless what's your starting VATs accuracy. The other ones affect already existing VATS accuracy. So you can have, let's say, VATS accuracy of 20%, and then you will have very high perception, and you will add, let's say, awareness with 40% bonus. So it will only increase it from 20 to 36%. So it's still visible, but it depends what you start from. Concentrated Fire is per shot, so each consecutive shot will have better accuracy, which is always good, even for relatively slow firing weapons. It's only bad for snipers that you really need to hit and kill with a first shot, so Concentrated Fire doesn't really help you much if you are focusing on getting first shot to count. Eye of the Hunter is the weakest from them all because it only works on very far away enemies, like 200 units in game and further. And then it's relatively low. That's like 20% max out. So awareness is higher bonus and always works. There is no requirements. Therefore, yeah, Eye of the Hunter is the weakest of them all, and you should only use Eye of the Hunter if you really want maximum accuracy and you already have awareness. How would you use them for VATS? So I don't know if there is, like, it's all for VATS. So that was explanation. They cannot be used outside of VATS. They're used only for VATS. Hey, Mr. Turtle, can you add to looking for group caravans? I need supplies. Thank you for your time. I think it's rare for people to look for group to do the caravan. I think you should type it in general looking for group. If we could add that, but I don't think anyone will open that more than like one person per day, so you will still not find a group. Caravans are kind of dead at this moment as following content Bethesda didn't release. So like for me, I max out with all upgrades to the caravan and I max out on supplies. I have nothing to do with those supplies. I have nothing to spend them on and no purpose in farming caravans outside of maybe doing that for the season pass progress. So yeah, that's tough now. Caravans are kind of dead. Next, hello AT. I was curious on what is better for my build as a Ghoul VATS heavy gunner. 3 rejuvenators and 2 limit breaking, or 3 limit breaking and with 2 rejuvenators, possibly another combination of the 2 4-star mods. Thank you for your time. So personally, I have 2 limit breaking and 3 Aegis. But that's my choice. That's best for me. I love this combo. I use it the most. I have different power armors with rejuvenators, limit breaking, with rangers, and other effects. I use the most one that has 2 limit breaking and 3 Aegis. That seems to be a powerhouse. Absolute beast, but benefit not only me, but as well teammates. Rejuvenators has a bug which causes it to rarely work on your teammates. It will work on you, but on your teammates, that's a lottery and small chance that it's gonna work. Now, you should know that when you are using rejuvenators, it's stacked kind of multiplicatively. So really, the full effect you only see if you have 5. If you will have 3, it will be medium effect. It will be way weaker. It will be about half of what it does when you have full set. So going with rejuvenators, you really want as much as possible. To figure out how much limit breaking you need, depend on your luck. You only want to add limit breaking to hit the threshold required to crit every other shot. So usually in power armor, if you put extra luck on the second star, like full set with +2 luck, that's +10 luck. For most builds, 2 limit breaking will cover you without using any luck boosting buff, any temporary buff. So normally I would not recommend more than 2 limit breaking unless you really need something else than luck on the second star. Then of course you start adding more limit breaking. If you don't want to use any luck at second star, it may be reasonable to use full set of limit breaking. Hopefully that will help you out. Next one. Hey Turtle, have you been able to test whether taking one for the team still eating up onslaught stacks randomly since the last patch? So I didn't do extensive testing yet, but I noticed that onslaught stacks behavior is different. They seem to be more consistent, but I didn't do an in-depth test. I was only using regular onslaught, not reversed. And for the regular, I did notice that I'm not getting additional stacks of onslaught when I fire multiple shots, but enemy dies from 2. I'm getting only 2. Previously, all the follow-up shots that basically hit a dead body were giving me some additional stacks, making it easier to get full stacks of onslaught. Now only the ones that actually do damage count. So definitely something changed, but I had no time yet to do extensive testing. And lastly, does explosions affect limbs, all limbs as it's an explosion, such as explosion from Gauss minigun. They usually don't really do much to limbs. It used to in the past, but that was mostly disabled. But they should do some amount of damage. How much? I didn't particularly test. They will do a small amount of damage, but noticeable effect will be probably only on something like a rocket launcher. I would need to test more, but it was very low amount of limb damage. So basically, you could treat it as no limb damage from the explosions. It's so low that it's negligible. So you cannot really cripple anything by explosions alone. There need to be an impact. So I would not rely on that. I may do some testing on public test server later to see if anything's gonna change about explosive weapons and limb damage. For this moment, no. I would say no, don't use explosive weapons for the limb damage. And those will be all the questions. So now coming back to chat. So if you have any questions in the YouTube chat, feel free to ask them. That was from Discord. Back to YouTube chat. Oh, Chaso, thank you a lot for extending your sub. Appreciate that. Thank you very much, Chainsaw. And Duck McQuarrie, thank you a lot for extending your Turtles Army subscription on YouTube. Appreciate that, guys. And may the shell be with you. Thank you. Now, let me see if I missed any questions in the chat. I don't know if I will notice every question, but I will try. Elder's Mark will be the best stealth weapon if they don't change anything significantly in today's patch. I will, yeah, as soon as public test server will get a notes, I will publish them and I will talk about it. Yeah, on Discord, one of the rules, real money trading is not allowed on our Discord. Mainly because that's my personal experience, but I pretty much sure shared by a lot of people. For me, I did, okay, I'm honest with you. In the past, different MMOs, we are not talking Fallout, before I play Fallout, I did real money trading in online games. Even in the games that it was allowed. The biggest problem was takes away the fun. Like it ruins the experience. That's my personal opinion from my experience. Going into real money trading ruins the fun from gaming. It's changing into more like a real life grind kind of slash gambling situation. Not good. So real money trading in online games, in my opinion, is even worse than all the stuff that game is selling to you directly. That's even worse. That ruined the experience more than pay to win mechanics in games, which already ruined the experience. That's why I do not recommend that and we do not support that. That ruined the experience for most players, I'm pretty sure. And outside of that, it's against Fallout 76 terms of condition. You cannot do real money trading. For other MMOs that I played in the past, it was allowed, not encouraged, but allowed, and it was still ruining the experience. To become a ghoul, you need to be level 50. You cannot go level 20 and become a ghoul. This quest unlocks at level 50. So you will need to spend money on the booster. I plan to test this booster. I plan to start a new character. Maybe tomorrow, I'm not sure yet. Depends how big the PTS patch is. But I do plan to start a new character, buy this level 50 booster to see if it's worth it, how the experience will look like if I go straight out of the vault to become ghoul before doing anything else. That's my plan. What's the best role for the dragon? You got a legacy one. Oh, cool, Rascal, that you got a legacy one. I have no idea what happened with my legacy one. I used to have one that had 400 range, and I have no idea what happened to it. I don't have it anymore. I have no idea if I somehow drop it somewhere, what I did with it, or did I fail a transfer from one character to another. I had a legacy dragon. The main difference was 400 range, and I lost it. So currently the best roll for the dragon is quad. If you want to use it for the guardian or stuff like that, limb damage. With new perks, it may be even overall the best to have limb damage on the dragon that stacks with limb damage that already is on the dragon, so I would recommend to stack both. Then less AP cost, not necessary. Faster reload will be good for the third star, and for the last star, more cripple limbs, more damage. The bullies, the new bullies, if we are talking about next patch for the dragon. I'm guessing that's what you are asking, Krasko? Not currently, but after the next patch? Am I playing the new Oblivion? Currently, no, and I don't know if I want to. Yes, for the ghoul, there is new short quest line. Am I planning on making more ghoul builds? In the future, yes. At this moment, I am on the human builds. Alright, I only did 2 human builds. I need to do more. Like at least couple more, like auto axe need to be covered next. Human auto axe build. Not as good as feral ghoul, of course, but still really powerful. Is there any build I recommend on new ghoul character? Below 100. Probably melee. If you want to go feral and you are fine with that, that's a huge damage boost that you can use regardless what your level is. And it's not hard to be tanky as a ghoul. Some melee power armor would be very easy to use and very powerful. Plus maybe some weapon that you can use at range to tag mobs on events. How long will the ghoul sniper build utilizing plasma caster be valuable? It's looked like for a long time. There is no planned changes for the plasma caster that I know about. So you can enjoy it for a long time, most likely. Am I going to give you a let's play of my ghoul storyline character? Yeah, I can do a normal storyline when I'll be trying the ghoul without skipping dialogues. Okay, real out of the vault and to the ghoul. Yes, level 50 to become a ghoul. Do explosion perks work with second star explosive? Yes, they do, but they only boost the portion that is actual explosion. So how it works? To explain that simple for whoever is new to legendary explosive weapons. If you have a weapon that does 100 damage and you add a second star that says bullet explode, that will add additional 20 damage. The weapon will display 120, but only 20 damage is the explosion. So then you can add Demolition Expert to boost it by 60%, but only the 20 damage will be boosted by 60%. So you will end up with 32 damage with Demolition Expert, so 132 total, but the hits are separate. So the impact and the explosion and calculation against armor, it's considered to be 2 separate hits. The same for the calculation of onslaught stacks, impact hit from a bullet, explosion, second hit to the target. So those are 2 separate hits when you add bullet explode. Independent from each other. The Pip-Boy display 1 damage number, but there are actually 2 separate ones. So you would have 100 impact, 32 explosion. And explosion follows all the rules of all explosions on the launchers or on anything else. You excited for Peppa Shaker build? Yeah, next patch will definitely make Peppa Shaker shine. I will talk about conductor nerf when it will happen on public test server. Patch is today, so if they actually implement it, I will be talking about it. It's hard to talk about something that didn't happen yet and it's only on the talking phase, like on the Discord on public test server. I need to see how they implement it to talk about it. I don't want the nerf, to be clear. I enjoy conductors. I switched most of my weapons to conductors. I spent a lot of modules and stuff to craft those conductors and equip them. I don't want the nerf, or I will need to switch it again. So I'm not saying I want the nerf. I don't want the nerf. The new patch, Feral Auto Axe build will still be one of the strongest, yes. Like still highest DPS. I don't see anything that could beat Feral Ghoul with Auto Axe or with the minigun Shredder in the DPS department. There is nothing on the horizon at this moment. Even with this small adjustment that's supposed to, I don't know if it maybe already went live. It was on the PTS notes, but some people in comments were saying that their auto axe is slightly weaker after last patch. So maybe they already corrected auto axe damage to intended ones, which is still way higher than any other weapon in Fallout. Does 40% damage reduction while power attacking work? Yes, but only in the moment that you are doing damage. So it doesn't explain that, but it's not enough that you attack. It works when you are doing the damage. So with auto axe, it only works when you are doing the damage. And Shredder cannot have this mod because Shredder is a range weapon. So you cannot equip melee weapon legendary effect on the range weapon. It's not possible. What hair product do I use? Shampoo? That's unfortunately it. I use a shampoo. And in case of minigun for explosions, if you have minigun with legendary, like Gauss minigun with legendary effect bullet explode, you add both explosions before calculating. So let's say Gauss minigun would do 100 damage from the bullet, but it has this explosive effect, inert one, that gives 15%, so it's doing 115. If you add bullet explode, then it goes up to 135, where 35 is the explosion, 100 is the impact damage. Unfortunately, the game shows just one combined number that you will need to split yourself if you want to figure out what's explosion, what's impact. Yeah, they're not done with some balancing, so I would not be making a full set or a build for the next patch yet. Let's wait for the full changes. Yeah, electrified mode is, in my opinion, is the best for auto axe. Some people claim poisonous one is better. I was never able to make poisonous one do more damage for me than electrified. I'm not saying those people are lying, as it's followed. Sometimes the weird things are happening that I cannot replicate, let's say, in my game, but it's happening for someone else. I know one example from the past. It was a situation when Cryolator with snowballs was excellent. That was one of the greatest weapons for heavy gunner. So I was using it myself, and one of my in-game friends was using that too. He was able to get continuous criticals, like hit after hit being a critical. And I had opposite scenario. Only some of my hits were criticals and most were not. And I couldn't make the same like his. Like he even borrowed me his cryolator. And on my character, it was not working the same. And we are talking the same platform as we are able to trade between each other. So both on PC. And it was working differently for him and for me. I was trying to figure out why. He even sent me a video clip showcasing that. I was not able to. The best I could figure out, it must have been related to the server lag or something like that. Cryo, Cryo with Snowball still works, but nowhere near the power of the past. It was stronger. I know, I was using it. It was way stronger. They nerfed that intentionally. Is the broken perk that, yeah, the perk that you're talking about, Soul Catcher, that increases rat intake when you have matching set does work, but I tested that and benefit is negligible, not worth the points. My auto axe is furious and pounders with power, attack, damage, and strength. So the perfect roll. I did not try it with mutants. I don't have really a purpose. Like furious pounders is the strongest combo for auto axe, and that's what I'm using. Will the concentrated fire still help with accuracy debuff after the patch? I hope so. I didn't test. I'm not feral. I'm ghoul on the public test server to test stuff as a ghoul with all new perks, but I'm not a feral ghoul. Maybe I should let it run down to the feral state to see if it's the same. Yeah, two shot is getting buffed. Two shot is getting buffed with the next update. Hopefully, if they don't nerf anything, it is getting buffed. So today is some kind of a patch. Most likely not a big one, although sometimes they tend to surprise us. So we'll see what kind of a patch for public test server is scheduled for today. And then, yeah, like currently we have weekly updates for public test server. So that never happened before. So we'll see what changes today's patch will bring. The good news is they are working hard on Fallout 76. That's a clear indication for me. They were never pushing patches on the test server on the weekly basis. So it's looked like they do have some schedule to release a lot of updates in in future. For how long future, I don't know, but seems like they're gonna stick to the plan to provide full support and updates for Fallout 76 for 10 years. What I truly appreciate, as a lot of gaming companies is breaking their word on promises when they are releasing online games. There is too many online games that broke their promise to even count it. Therefore, I'm happy Bethesda is not breaking their promise and supporting the game. They did break, like Bethesda did break some promises in the past, but they are keeping the big one, what is better than breaking them all. Pinpointers will remain the strongest 4-star. Even though it's gonna get nerfed to 20%, it is still multiplier. So 20% multiplicative is a lot, and there is no stronger one. So I would say after the nerf, it will be still very good, just balanced. It was way, like pinpointers was way above any other effect, so I do understand why they are putting it more in line. They could go either route. They could make pinpointers 50%, like remain the value, but change it to additive, or reduce it to 20% and keep it multiplicative. I prefer 20% multiplicative. For most weapon, it's more than 50% additive. So I prefer it this way. We always knew that gonna eventually fix it. That was outlier. They need to add some test server for consoles. That would be nice. I think the cost is what's holding them back. The Furious is currently the best for most weapons. If you can use full onslaught mechanic with full onslaught perks with 20 stacks and Furious, that's just the best. Will two shot be better in the future for some weapons? Possibly, as two shot is receiving a buff. So for some explosive weapons, definitely two shot remains to be the best for launchers. About conductors, we'll know when they upload patch notes. What's the intention? I cannot speculate and tell you now what's gonna be. We need to wait 2 hours for any info about conductors. Yeah, 20% weak point damage on 4-star. It's overall the strongest. With exception, of course, of launchers that cannot utilize a weak point damage. Explosions cannot hit the weak point. None of the explosions. Any more questions before we finish? Oh, Matsironi, thank you a lot for extending your membership in Turtles Army. Appreciate that. For another month. Yes, thank you very much. I want to see upcoming events dates again. I mean, you can scroll back. I think. Oh, you are not on. Wait, you are on Twitch, so you cannot scroll back. That's the problem with Twitch. Okay, I will show you. Just briefly, if someone wants to see them again. Those are the dates of upcoming events. Yeah, that's additional missing, unfortunately, functionality of Twitch. You cannot scroll back. On YouTube, you can freely like scroll back to check what happened on the stream. Will the patch fix the radioactive glitch for auto axe and drain glow? They just disabled the power from radiation on auto axe. They don't want you to use it on auto axe. Doesn't work on auto axe anymore. They forgot about the shredder, so it's all good. So it's still all good. Oh, just come back to 76? That's a good time. You can try to be a ghoul like in the TV show. The best rifle for a bloody build? For today? For today, the best rifle for a blooded build, for automatic, so I uploaded just recently commando build, so whatever I'm using there, for the highest DPS is Enclave Plasma, and it will be buffed a lot. For the best stealth one is Elder's Mark from automatic. For the single shot, you have Gauss Rifle, that's the most powerful single shot sniper. Oh, Jeremy! Special message from Jeremy. Always so great to see you streaming. How is the quad situation now? I heard they fixed the grand finale. Yeah, they fixing all the quad. On public test server, all the quad weapons correctly reload all shots with one reload. On the live game version, my dragon still need to reload 4 times, but on the public test server, it's already fixed. So it's looking good for quad weapons. They did a little bit nerf the dragon fire rate, but they are giving it buff to the damage and they removing the penalty for distance. So generally it's better after the patch. I tested the dragon as I was worried about it. It's better. My quad dragon is doing great on the public test server. So glowing Gusius, if you are currently using 2-shot explosive Elder's Mark, with next patch, you can expect like 4-fold increase in your damage output, as both Elder's Mark alone and 2-shot is being buffed. So if that's what weapon you are using, you will expect a serious damage increase. Do you need fireproof if you have ironclad? Yes, fireproof is completely different. Fireproof reduces damage you take from explosions. That's the main purpose to use it. You can see huge difference if you try to go against Guardian rocket attack with and without fireproof. 2-shot explosive Gauss mini or Furious explosive? Currently Furious explosive. After next patch, possibly 2-shot. Yeah, no more radioactive strength on auto-axe, no. Grand Finale is awesome weapon. It was just not used because of this annoying bug causing you to keep reloading. And now I think I answered all the questions. So thank you very much for being here, everyone. We'll be heading now for a member hangout to do my dailies with a little bit of Turtle Army help. I will do my dailies. That's our usual routine. And tomorrow, I will see. Tomorrow, either I'm starting a new character and testing the level 50 booster, or if there are like important changes on public test server, we'll check those out, the fishing update. So that being said, see you soon, everyone. Turtle out. Bye. Take care and have an amazing week.